Hey everyone, Ed Cahill here from Cahill Cards, and you saw it in the title tonight. We're breaking down the top 10 of the first 50 of the Topps Project 2020 set. If you're not familiar with this set, it's really been one of the most exciting parts of the hobby in 2020 for me, especially in such a weird time. It's a set of 400 cards, and Topps has partnered with 20 different artists really across the spectrum to redesign 20 iconic rookie baseball cards. And the results have really just been extraordinary. And I put together a list of my top 10 as they have just crossed the 50 card threshold just recently, and that's, to me, is a big milestone. There's 350 more of these to go. It's hard to believe, and it was already really difficult for me to narrow this down to a list of 10, but I sure as hell tried. And I know a lot of you may disagree, but I tried to even pick some things that were out of my own comfort zone. So we're going to start at number 10 with the Trout Ermsey. The number 4 card in the collection had a print run of 2,911. Now, when this card first came out, it kind of rubbed some people the wrong way, I noticed. And, I thought it was a really aggressive rendition of the card, which may have caught some people off guard. But obviously, the scarcity of this card at 2,911, I think, has made it iconic. And I don't think there's any way to not include this in the top 10 because of that. I think Ermsey's style has become more recognized as this project has gone on and some of his later cards have come out. And I think he's one of the more iconic artists because of that. But if you don't know the story behind this Trout card, because it's so small in the print run at 2,911, the value of this card has skyrocketed. At the time of this video, this card's going for $600 when you could have originally purchased it for $20 just a little over a month ago. I just thought the rendition was fantastic. And again, as you start to look at Ermsey's art throughout the rest of his cards, I think his entire set will really tie in. And the Trout at card number 4 for Project 2020 was a great way to start it off. At number 9, Tyson Beck's Dwight Gooden, card number 12, a print run of just over 1,000. This card to me was just fantastic. It really captures the essence of Dwight Gooden's rookie card, but I just love Tyson's art style, and it was really hard for me not to put 4 or 5 of his cards in this countdown. But the way he handled the Gooden with the unfinished portions, with kind of the graph paper background, the blue flames, I think really kind of captures the essence of the card, the essence of the man. And so I think Tyson really killed it there. And with the print run of just 1,000, that card's been super hot in the marketplace. I sadly missed it, and it's very expensive to pick up right now because I think Tyson killed it on that one. Number 8 for me is Bob Gibson, card number 46 by SOPHIA CHANG. I've really come to appreciate Sophia's art style throughout this. The Bob Gibson rookie card to me is iconic and classic. The pink border, the original card is not much different from what Sophia has done here. She really kept the original essence of the card, which a lot of the artists here in Project 2020 has done, but she kept hers so clean that I really appreciate it, especially with the Gibson. But she's done it on a lot of her different cards, and I think it's really struck a chord with me because I like, you'll see as we go down this timeline, I like a little bit of crazy. But what she's been able to do with these cards, which is the little details of the players, the little hand-drawn curveball behind him, I think is a great touch. And so that's why I came in number 8 in my countdown. And Sophia, again, has just been killing it. Number 7 was the Koufax, the number 2 card in the set with a print run of just 1,135. Jacob Rochester did this card, and one of my favorite things that he did was the background image of Koufax is actually different than the one in the original rookie card, which is a little stagnant. I think it's him on the dugout steps just kind of leaning over a knee. And that small change, I think, really sets this card off. Also, the way he did the border and some of the details on the right side of the card, I think, really just give it that little extra bit. And this card, again, being one of the first 2 cards and having such a low print run, has really just turned into an icon. At number 6, it's the Ted Williams number 9 by JK5. Man, I've fallen in love with JK5 and his art style throughout this. The Ted Williams, this one, the Ichiro that has come out. This one had a print run of just 1,385. Really keeps the essence of the original card in terms of the placements of the logos, the names, in both poses are original. But I love the detail of the lasers coming out of Ted Williams' eyes, being the only player to ever hit above 400 and having that laser vision almost really stood out to me. But this was one of the cards that I bought in the secondary marketplace because I missed. and I couldn't not have this card. And I think I'll have to have every card by JK5 if they follow along this theme, because I think they're just so well done and there's so much detail to unpack in there, that this was, creeping up the list for me. And I put it settled at number 6 because he had some tough competition. At number 5 was the George Brett number 11 by Gregory Siff with a print run of 1,227. Just the amount of detail on this card. And I went and looked at some of Gregory's other art, and I think this kind of rings true with a lot of it. You see a lot of hand-drawn detail in there. You see a lot of, I love the way he piece this card together, and along with the colors. To me, it's just one of the most unique cards of the first 50 cards that were released. And, I just think it is iconic because of that. It was, an easy include for me in this list. It was really just in terms of where it fell, because this card immediately the day it dropped stood out to me as different from the rest of the set, in a very good way. And I think when I went and looked at Gregory's art style and the other things has done, it was very clear that while he maintained the original look of the George Brett rookie, he was able to implement his style enough to make it different and to make it pop and to make it stand out. And that to me was great work from him. And so that came in at number 5. And number 4 is another George Brett from Mr. Cartoon with a print run of 2,360. This to me is probably, maybe other than the Sophia Changs, but even with it, one of the cleanest cards of the entire set, and I love it. Like this was almost up in the 1 and 2 range for me, but I think there was some strong competition. This is very faithful to the original card with just a few small changes, I think, to clean it up. The gold border, the moving of the royals down to the corner, and just how the light blue with the dark blue in the middle just makes this card pop. And it's just an absolute beautiful card. Mr. Cartoon knocked it out of the park. And that's why we got George Brett card number 43 there at number 4. And number 3 was another Tyson Beck. Again, I struggled not to put a lot of his cards in this list, but his number 37 card, the Cal Ripken rookie, really struck me. Really, when you look at the card, the thing that catches my eyes is that you are immediately drawn to Ripken's eyes, even though there's a lot going on in that card, which I think if you look at the original card is something that is retained. And I think the original card it's a very unique card. The poses back then were kind of unique, and it kind of almost hides the face of Ripken in the original card. And Tyson is able to still draw your face to him. The way he did the orange border right behind you draws your attention, and the fact that he's got so much going on, but I can also clearly see Cal in this, to me, is what really made this card stood out. I think it was a unique achievement, staying loyal to the original card, but also bringing more into it without having us lose the focus on the subject of the photo. Number 2 for me was Ricky Henderson, number 21 from Matt Taylor, print run of 2,104. This card blew me away when it came out. I love this style. It's kind of a little bit of that retro wave look. And, some of his other cards have iterated on this, but looking at Matt Taylor's portfolio, he's got a varied degree of artwork. And so I think his style will vary. And we've started to see that in some of his later cards in the set. But I think when you look back at Taylor's 20 card set, it'll be something very unique. And this Ricky Henderson, to me, just kind of captured the era. I don't know. I loved it. I bought, I think, 5 of them just because I was in love with this card, and I thought it would be an iconic card moving forward. And I thought Matt Taylor did a fantastic job, and just really looking forward to see what else he has to offer. And that was, to me, an easy number 2 on my list, just because it was one of the cards that made me fall in love with this entire Project 2020 program. And it was at card 21. I was already buying cards, but this was the first one I was just like, man, I got to buy this one in bulk, because I think this will be iconic down the line. And then the number 1 for me was card number 6 in the set, King Saladin's Ken Griffey Jr. 2,504 is the print run on this card. It's just an absolute beauty. I love the way the art in the original photo blend in, the way he's integrated it with the cloth around the bat, with the home run call out. It's just so clean, yet so beautiful, yet so nostalgic to me, that this is a card I only own one of. It's going for a lot of money, and I will probably never give it up because I want to have it sit on my shelf for a long, long time, because it's one of those cards that you pick up and have a look at every day, and it really does bring you a lot of joy. And I think King Saladin has delivered so much heat during this entire run. His 20 card set at the end of this is just going to be absolutely ridiculous, and I really look forward to every single card he puts out, and that earns him the number 1 spot here. But honestly, this was such a hard list to make. I could have You know, there were so many more artists I wanted to include. Really, there's been so many unique pieces and so many unique cards in this set that, you know, I'll do this for every 50 cards going forward. And I think a lot of those artists will see their selves getting into these top 10 because they've all done fantastic jobs. And I think, you know, seeing some of these artists interact even on social, you know, they're really starting to compete with each other and taking this personally. And I think that's really cool. It's an exciting program. Check out tops.com every day at 1 p.m. on the weekdays for the new releases. And yeah, that's it. Cahill Cards, I appreciate you guys joining us. Leave your feedback down below. I want to know what are your favorite cards out of this set? What are you buying? Which cards are you looking forward to the most? Which artists are really impressing you? And I really encourage you to go look at the artist profile pages. Just a quick Google search of their name will bring up pretty much their entire portfolio or their website, and some of the work these guys do is just incredible. So to be able to have these on things we all love, which is the sports card, I think is just a really great concept by Topps and something I'm excited for to have you know, hundreds and hundreds of more cards come our way over this year. So that's it. Ed Cahill signing off for Cahill Cards. We'll see you next time.